Guys, so I wanted to make this really short little video to give you a little more help and instructions on this quadrant two, involving opposites. It's part three of this, this really packet of what's your sign that we've kind of been working through, and we'll be working through throughout this unit. So the top part, just a little extra information, some notes, some things that you might want to refer back to. It was also in the video. We've talked about it in class, but just to kind of give you a little more information here, particularly down in this part, the opposite of -3 is 3, and it's written here like the opposite of 3 is 3. Well, what's the because right here I've got 3. What's the opposite of that? -3. What's the opposite of that? 3. Okay. Now, for this quadrant, you need to only choose you need to choose at least 5 problems to do in this quadrant. Now, the only instructions for that can be any 5 problems as long as you choose at least one problem per page. So I'm going to do the first one on each page, and then you will choose at least one more on each page. And remember, as you're choosing these problems, you're choosing ones that will challenge you, and that helps to let me know your level of understanding. So don't just choose the easiest because you want to hurry up and get it done, and also don't choose the hardest because I want to know where is your comfortable level of being pushed, um, to extend what you already know. So let's look at number 1. The directions say use the number line to find the opposite of the plotted point. Plot the opposite of the given number using, it says green colored pencil. It doesn't really matter. Just use your pencil. So here we go. You were given a point between -2 and -4. So that would be -3. Okay. What is the opposite of -3? +3. So all you do is put your dot and we label it above because we always label our points. So go ahead and choose at least one more from this page to do and complete it in this way. The next page, we're going to go over number 5 together. And this one just says, move this a little bit, make it a little easier to read maybe. Try to get rid of that. Here we go. I can't get rid of that shadow. Okay, so plot the opposite of the point and tell the decimal and fraction that are represented by the just the dot. There's no black and green dot. You can use your pencil as long as you make the dot big enough for me to see it, and we're good. Okay, so let me see if I can. There we go. All right. So here we go. I started 0, and to get to this point, I need to go 1, 2, 3 spaces. So let's look here. I need to go between 0 and -1. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So that means each of these little lines represents 1/5 of, of the space between 0 and -1. So if this is -1/5, here's -2/5, here's -3/5. Okay, and using my calculator, you can go ahead and take 3 and divide it by 5, and that would give you -0 and 6/10. Okay, because we turn fractions into decimals, dividing numerator divided by denominator. Since I had to go 3/5 in the negative direction, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3/5 in the positive direction and label it with the positive fractions and decimals for this problem. Okay. All right. So choose at least one more from this page that will challenge you, but that you feel like you will be comfortably challenged. You don't want to be too over challenged, and you also don't want to pick just the easiest ones. Okay. Let me know where you are. Okay. So number 1 or 11 here on the third page, we're simply plotting whatever you're told to plot. So remember this negative out here means opposite. So what I'm plotting is the opposite of negative 1 and 1/4. Well, the opposite of negative 1 and 1/4 is positive 1 and 1/4. So that means if I'm starting at 0, I'm going to move in the positive direction to plot this point, okay? So let's look. First of all, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces between 0 and 1, which means each of these spaces represents 1/4 of 1/4 of the space between 0 and 1. So I want to go 1 and 1/4. So that means I need to go to 1 and then an additional 1/4. And here is where I would plot 1 and 1/4. So again, choose one more at least from this page. You need 5 overall, and I can't wait to see how you do. All right, have a good day.